All right, guys, let's talk craft. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And I've been meaning to do this video for a couple of weeks now, but I've been sick and I got another ear infection. You know how it is. This is classic me. But yeah, I've had this really exciting idea for a few weeks now, and I'm finally able to make this video to tell you guys about it. So I miss being in school. I miss talking to people about books and about theory and thoughts and just all those things that came with like being in class and being a student. And I know a lot of you are like, I hated school, but I didn't. I loved it. I didn't like homework necessarily, but I loved reading books and I loved talking about them. And I love talking about theory and kind of theorizing art, writing, film, all of those things. So basically, first let me tell you the idea I came up with, and then I'll tell you kind of my thoughts behind it. So what I'd like to do, or what this video is announcing, I'm going to start a book club on my channel, Laura Writes. It's going to be called Let's Talk Craft, a writer's book club. And if you can guess from that title, what that is we're going to read a writing craft book together and then talk about it in a live show. So I know that craft books can sometimes be a little dense or a little long or harder to get through, so I don't want to do it quite once a month, but I'm going to do it about every 6 weeks. I'll have a video after every live chat announcing the next book, and in that I'll say when the next live chat is for that. So all those details will be, and I have some other details about that first, but let me kind of back up and explain. Even though I did minor in creative writing, I took many creative writing classes. I've taken them post college as well. No one really emphasized craft, if that makes sense. Like, we were never reading craft books or like, so-and-so says this or so-and-so believes this. So when I read Save the Cat Writes a Novel, it kind of like blew my mind. Like, it really, as someone who'd been writing for so long, it really helped shape a lot of my ideas about writing and about my story. So I was like, you know what? I need to give more writing craft books. Like, why have I not been reading these? Why have people not been telling me about these? So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start reading more craft books. So then I started reading, this was a while ago, I'm not gonna lie, Anatomy of Story, which I know my friend Lindsay, if you know Lindsay Puckett, I will link her down in the description. She's great, she has a great channel. She loves this book. So I was like, okay, this is the next one to read. So then I started reading it, and I started having some thoughts about it. Some of this is really great stuff, and some of this I'm like, I don't know. So I was like, man, I really want to talk to her about it and like get her perspective. What does she think? What does she think about these things that I think are maybe troublesome? And then I was like, you know what? Why don't I do a book club? Duh, where we can read these craft books and then discuss them. So that's how this idea came about, because I really had some mixed feelings about this book and I wanted to talk to someone about it. So with that being said, this is essentially the gist. I will give a book. First one's going to be this one, The Anatomy of Story. It is very dense, you guys, but there is a lot of sections where they're just giving examples from different movies. You can skim those, especially movies I don't even know. I was like, I don't need to know how it breaks down because I don't know the movie. And also just some of it's, you know. But anyway, the point is we're going to read this book and we're going to have our first book chat of this on Sunday, April 5th. At 3 p.m. Eastern time. So it's a little earlier on a Sunday. Hopefully that can make more people join. But I'm really excited, guys. Oh, and so what I plan to do is, I think Kevin will join me as a co-host on books that he's actually reading. But I also would like to have one person every time that's not my brother in addition, or if he's not in it, to discuss the book with me, because I just think it'd be nice to have like another sounding board, someone else's ideas, especially if it's a book that someone's already read and they feel really passionate about, or if they just want to randomly do it. So our first one is going to be co-hosted by Lindsay Puckett. So she and I think Kevin's gonna do it, not sure, but I think he said he was. We're going to discuss this, but then you guys will also be able to be in the chat and you guys can bring stuff up as well. So the other part of this that I want to kind of add to the book club, I'm like so excited about this, you guys. Like, I love talking about this kind of stuff and I cannot wait to hear other people's, you know, opinions on books. And I have so many like writing craft books I've been wanting to read. So anyway, so the other part of this is I created an Instagram for the book club. So let me get the name right. I will put it down in the description, but the Instagram name is Let's Talk Craft Book Club. And the reason I did that is because I want to be able to have interaction with you guys about the book club. So basically what I want to do is a couple of different things on that Instagram. First of all, obviously I'll announce the book. I'll put some reminders out since it will be about 6 weeks in between live shows. So if you guys want to take pictures of yourself reading the book, I can, and tag me. I can always retweet them, or not retweet, regram them, I guess. But I also want to do polls on there. So like when it's time to pick the next book, although I do know the next book I want to do after this one, but after that, I'm going to like start asking like, okay, this or this, right? So I'll have polls on there in the live, in the, what is it called? The stories. So I'll have polls in there. I will also have polls on the day that we do the live chat, because I said it'll be about every 6 weeks, but I probably will give like 2 options and see what one more people would prefer to do. I also, prior to the actual talk, I want to put, and these are all going to be in the stories. I'm also going to post, like I said, some photos, but a lot of this will be in the stories of the live, of the Instagram, where a couple days before, I'm going to put up a little thing where I can ask you topics from the book that you guys want to discuss. Like, what did you think about this thing he said? Or what about this quote on page 44 or whatever? So that way when we go into, and I'm also going to post some key topics that I want to discuss so that you guys kind of know what I'm going to want to talk about ahead of time. Does that make sense? And so that way when we go into the talk, we're not just like, so what'd you think? What'd you think? What'd you think? We kind of have like things that people want to talk about. We can jump right into it. And so I'll post some of the things that I want to talk about. I'll give you guys an option to say like, oh, hey, I'd like to talk about this, or I want to know what you guys think about this, or I hated this, so that we have something to bring into the chat. Does that make sense? So I think that's actually really fun, and it's going to be really interactive, and it's for writers, right? And the good part of this is, say you don't want to read the book. You're not into it, okay? For whatever reason, you don't have the time, you don't have the money, it's checked out of the library, whatever, most of these are gonna be like really well-known books, so if you can't buy them all, you can get them at the library or audiobook or however. I'm buying them all just because I write, well, you probably can't see that, but I write copious notes. I'm such an academic about this stuff, but anyway, I also type up notes afterwards. But anyway, you can still join the live chat either live or watch it later if you're just interested in some of the topics of the book. Maybe, like I said, you don't want to read it or you don't have the time, but you'd like to hear us discuss some of the aspects of it. That's what's great about this book club, is you can still learn and hear other people's ideas about writing and the craft of writing through these live chats, through the chat and through the people that are on the screen. So I feel like it's like a win-win-win. Like either you read the book and you get to interact and talk to us about it, or even if you don't, you can still go and watch the live chats either live or later and learn some stuff, hear people's opinions about books, about specific aspects of the book, and think like kind of like a cliff notes, you know what I mean? So I really feel like this would appeal to, I think, most writers, right? So if you have writer friends that maybe don't follow me on this channel, which, rude, tell them to follow me, just kidding. Especially if I can get to 1,000, because then I can have a community page, which would be so helpful, which is why I have to do the Instagram, because I don't have a community page because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. So anyway, if you want to help me with that, that would be keen. But anyway, if you have some writer friends who maybe don't like follow me already, or maybe don't necessarily go on YouTube all the time, you may still want to tell them about this, just because I think it's really beneficial to it's kind of like being in a college classroom, and I want it to feel like you're getting your MFA and we've read this for class and we're discussing the merits of the book and the things that we thought were valuable and the things that we questioned. I think it sounds like fun. Do you? If you do, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know that you look forward to taking part in this. Also, I'm always taking suggestions for books in the future. I already know the next one, like I said. I don't want to tell you yet. I'll make an announcement video for that. But I still am taking suggestions, and like I said, on that Instagram page, I will put up polls about what books, what days, topics we want to discuss, that kind of stuff. So let me just reiterate all of the important information. This is a book club. We will be reading writing craft books every 6 weeks-ish. The first book we're reading is The Anatomy of Story by John Truby, and I will link in the description like a link to Amazon where you can get it. That's where I got mine. Is like beat to hell. I've spilled water on it. I've brought it a million places, but I'm still reading it. I got this brand new, so it's a little rough, but I will link that down in the description. I also started an Instagram page for the book club. It's called, what did I say it was called? Let's Talk Craft book club, and I'm gonna put that down in the description. Please follow that to get information about the book club and be able to participate in polls and questions. The first, my pencil keeps trying to fall out and I don't have another page holder right now. The first book chat is going to be Sunday, April 5th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. My co-host will be Lindsay Puckett, and then also possibly my brother Kevin over at Kevlandia, who will also be linked in the description. So basically check out my description, lots of fun stuff there. One book we will not do in the book club is Save the Cat Writes a Novel, because everyone's already read it. We've all talked about it. I've already done a review of it. I will link that down. Ooh, my hair's looking poofy right this second. I will link my video where I review that down in the description. I do highly recommend that book. That's also linked in the description. Basically, there's a lot of stuff in the description. Make sure you check it out. But yeah, my book club, Let's Talk Craft, a writer's book club. I am super excited for this, and I really hope you guys are too, and I hope you guys will join me on April 5th to talk about the anatomy of story. All right guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.